guys, we're week 2 here, and I just want to basically emphasize that if there was one week out of the weeks that we're going to spend together, this is the week. There's probably nothing that I can teach you that is going to have a higher, greater impact and a bigger success in your career than the stuff that we're going to talk about today. And so we're going to talk about the importance of building a business and building it foundationally and building it structurally sound. And I use this analogy: you can build your house on quicksand, or you could build your house on a bog, you could build your house on a rock. And that we want to establish a business. And it's amazing to me how many agents I can deal with in coaching that have not done this step first and have not done it in 7, 10, 15, 20 years experience, not taking the time to build this system and build it properly. And so we're going to focus this. If you do this system here, I'll guarantee you in 1 year's time, a 22% return on investment. If you build what we do this week and you build it properly and structurally sound, I can guarantee you a minimum of a 22% return on your investment. So if give you an example, online leads have about a 1.5 to 2.5% return on investment. Okay. What I'm teaching today, 22% return on investment. There's nothing higher, nothing greater. So I'm going to emphasize that. Take the time to take this session and take this session in the structure of it. It's very, very serious. I'm going to start off with some statistics to share with you guys, just to give you some background on this information. So a database is a list of relationships. It is not a list for you for spamming, for calling for that. It's a list of relationships. In my career, the one single thing that I can attribute my greatest success was my clients were my friends. My clients were relationships, and my clients would send their clients to send their clients to send their clients. How many people just would like to have the phone call every day that so-and-so said we should just call you? Anybody like to have that magical phone call, right? So-and-so said we should call you. So-and-so said you should call you. So-and-so. And in a few years' time, the business was based around that, where people can refer you, but I'd rather have my business insisted. Would you agree there's a difference between insisted and referred, or suggested or recommended? So I use this analogy. I'm wanting my clients to be raving lunatic fans of me and my business and the service that I provide. Raving lunatic fans of me and my business and the service that I provide. I want to create advocates and adversaries. And I just want to make sure that people know and insist me, and they don't just recommend me. Like, oh, how was it to deal with Wade? Oh, it was good. It was good. He did a good job. That's the kiss of death. We don't want to do that. I'm going to give you a couple suggestions for books that are really good resources for today's session. Book number 1, written by a good friend of mine, Richard Robbins, called Delivering the Unexpected. Anybody in the room read the book Delivering the Unexpected by Richard Robbins? It's an excellent read, simple read, good read in that. And just, it's the simple process in a book written, well written, that just solidifies what I'm teaching today. Great read, highly recommend. Delivering the Unexpected by Richard Robbins. Another one by Jay Abraham, a book called Mr. Schmooze. Terrible title, but a phenomenal book, Mr. Schmooze. And written by Jay Abraham, another phenomenal book. It talks about building relationships, having insistent and creating raving lunatic fans of you and your business. So Delivering the Unexpected by Richard Robbins and Mr. Schmooze by Jay Abraham. And the last but not least, my personal favorite, one of my favorite all-time reads, is a book by Bob Berg and John Mann, and it's called The Go-Giver. Anybody read The Go-Giver by Mann and Berg? Awesome read, another great book, and another one that just really emphasizes the importance of how to build your business by people, by relationships. If you take care of people, the cash takes care of itself. If you take care of people, the cash takes care of itself. Okay? So we're going to focus on a process and a system and a structure and a foundation that's going to see a 22% or higher annual return, a 22% higher annual return. It's a lot of work for those people that are like me, squirrel, shiny penny, that don't like to sit down and buckle down and build something. This is like an elephant. You eat an elephant one bite at a time. one bite at a time. So you work on this, go away, the next day, work on it again. Go away, work on it again, work on it again. It's a process. It's an elephant. It's a beast. The reason why most agents haven't done it in the first 5, 7, 10, 12 years, it isn't fun. It isn't exciting. It's work. It's something that you have to work on and then come back to it and that, and then do it again and come back at it and that. It's an elephant, but you eat it one little bite at a time. Okay. So couple of facts. It costs you guys 5 times more time, money, and effort to acquire a new customer than to keep one. Think about this. You got to spend 5 times more time, money, and energy getting a customer than you have to keeping a customer. Okay. I don't know if you're aware of this. Veterans on the call today. Here's the kiss of death, guys. If you're not adding any value and not keeping top of mind, a 5-year vet within 5 years loses 50% of their database. 50% of your database will use another agent within 5 years with no communication, no contact, no adding value in that. So all the rookies in the room, do one of these. Yes, perfect. All those realtors that are sitting there not keeping in touch, not adding value, not even bugging their clients, as I hear, oh, I don't want to bug people, Wade. Oh my gosh, you're not bugging anybody. You're adding value. You're top of mind. You're deepening your relationship in that. We're not bugging people. If you see this business as bugging people, you might want to consider a new career, because we don't bug people. We create relationships. We add value. We stay top of mind. We take care of the people, and the cash takes care of itself. So 5 times more money, time, and energy and effort getting them than we're keeping them. You veterans in the room, you aren't adding value. You're not staying top of mind. You're stopping on your relative. You're not adding value in that. You're losing 50% of your database. People tell me all the time, wait, there's no loyalty in the world. That's BS. There's loyalty in the world. What's the problem is that we're so busy finding the next new customer, the next shiny penny in that we're not spending any effort whatsoever. We'll spend 5 times more effort getting them than we do keeping them and nurturing them and adding value to them, guys. Crazy stat. According to the Gartner Group, 80% of all your future revenues will come from 20% of your customers, pardon me. According to the Gartner Group, 80% of all your future business comes from 20% of your customers. Anybody heard that theory before? Pareto theory, 80-20 rule? It happens in your database, in your list of relationships. 80% of your business comes from 20% of your people. They're your raving fans, your A+, your raving lunatic fans of your business and that. If they insist you, they'll continue sending people in 80% of your revenue. If you continue top of mind, adding value and deepening your relationships, you will generate 80% of your business from 20% of your people in your database. Probability of selling to an existing customer is 70%. The probability of selling to a new prospect is 20%. So 70% selling from somebody, warm call, somebody so-and-so told me that we should call you, versus trying to prove yourself from the beginning, establishing relationships, building trust, building likability and all that. 70% with an existing client, 20% with a new client, new customer. Probabilities are huge. Write this down. Everybody heard the rule of 150? The rule of 150. So one person in your database, if you are their agent of choice, if you are their top of mind and they're adding value and they're insisting you in that, they know another, on average, 150 people. So 1 equals 150. Think about that. 1 equals 150. So if you're new to Red Deer, if you're new to the industry, new to the business and that, and you're looking for the people that do not have an agent of choice, you're looking for people that do not have an agent of choice. And here's why we can always have new people come into the business. Here's why. Because veterans are lazy. They don't keep in touch with people. They don't follow up. They don't establish relationship with them. And that NAR says that most people, 4 out of 5 people, write this down, 4 out of 5 people would use their agent again, but they don't. 80% chance that you're going to take someone else as a veteran agent's client from them. Just because, not because the people aren't loyal, because the agent loved them and left them. They leave them and love them and leave them and leave them all the time. They come and go. You're transactional. You come in, you swoop in, you make your money, you get your check, you're gone. That's it. 4 out of 5, guys. So all the rookies in the room, woohoo! Not only are they losing 50% of their database, but 4 out of 5 aren't using them again because they don't keep in touch, don't top and volume that. You got an 80% chance of finding somebody in Red Deer and picking up another agent's client. Not because that client's not loyal. It's because the agent was lazy. They didn't maintain value, didn't add value, and didn't stay on top of mind. And you're just there to pick up the pieces in behind them. Veterans, pull up your socks. Add value, start bugging people, get going, because there's people in this room and people in the emails are sending me their work. They're coming for your clients. They're coming for your business and that. And it's not your clients. It's not your clients. They're not screwing you. I'm not preaching that you take care of and take people out on your own team line and your own line. It's not what I'm saying. Agents are just so busy looking for the next customer. They're not doing anything, maintain those relationships and maintaining them. And they're losing their clientele as we speak. It's not losing loyalty. You're losing it because you're creating an environment where you're not staying relevant, you're not adding value, and you're not staying top of mind. New agents, you just got to find them, find those people, the 4 out of 5 that don't have an agent of choice, that have a relationship with their agent, and pick them up and serve them, and don't lose them. Don't lose them like the last person did, okay? More stats. 67% of customers said receiving a surprise gift. Guys, there's a thing called a pop-by. A good mentor friend of mine, Brian Buffini, taught me to do pop-bys, right? And those of you have to understand, I don't do pop-bys. This does not do pop-bys. The cheesy, touchy-feely, gifty thing in that. But the crazy statistic says, read this stat, 67% of customers said receiving a cheesy pop-by surprise gift was the number one reason why they were loyal to that brand and loyal to that brand. That's that. So for those of you that don't do pop-by gifts, guess what you need to start doing? Pop-bys. It's the 67% reason why they stay loyal to you, by giving them a housewarming gift, by giving them a pop-by gift, by showing up and giving them a little something with no expectation of return in that. 67% statistic by CrowdTwist of why people stay loyal. Crazy statistic on validating on why pop-by gifts are so important, and I'll talk about pop-by gifts later. Businesses or services providers that send 2 to 3 communications per month, 2 to 3, will see 3 times more referrals in their business than those that don't send any communication. Anybody want to just throw out a number? Guys, there's a statistic here in that there's the number of times that somebody is willing to receive communication from you a month. Anybody want to guess what the number of times? Think about this. If you're a fan of a service, a company, a business, that you're letting that person's or that business or that service or that product touch you multiple times and you don't even know it. Anybody want to reckon how many times you can communicate with a client of yours in a month without offending them, without upsetting them? Anybody want to take a stab at what the number is?
12.
Good guess. 13. 13 times until you actually offend somebody. So this is asking you to do it 2 or 3 times a month. The number is 13 times a month a client or a customer or somebody is willing to let a brand or a service provider or a business communicate with them on a monthly basis, 13 times. You guys, I'm just asking you to do it 2 or 3 times, but they're willing to allow you to do it for 13 times. So if those are people that don't feel they want to bug people, you can't bug them until you reach out to them 13 times a month. Then you get on the borderline of bugging them, okay? Then you can worry about that. 13 times. 48% of customers say that most critical time to gain their loyalty is when they make their first purchase or their first sale with you. So the first time is 48% of their loyalty is based on their experience with you the first time. 67% of their loyalty is based on whether you give them a little something, something with no expectation of return, just letting them know that you think about them and you appreciate them, okay? 72% of marketers, include agents, do not recognize or leverage their clients. Do not recognize or leverage their clients. It's a terrible stat. 7 out of 10 don't have a database. 7 out of 10 don't maintain or add value. 7 out of 10 don't communicate. It just boils back to that 4 out of 5 that don't use their same agent again. That stat, Loyalty 360, confirms the NAR stat at 4 out of 5 wouldn't use their agent again. It's not that they didn't like you. It's just that you don't even know if you're still alive or if you're even in the business or if you're any good at it or if you're even around. Most business owners and service providers lose 50% of their customers over a 5-year period, not keeping in touch. The response rate, write this down, guys. If you have these numbers, response rate to text message, 98%. What's the most important thing you should have of every client? Their mobiles. 98% text response rate compared to 22% for email response rate. 32% for phone call, guys. 32% for a phone call. 22% for email, 98% rate of response for a text. Game changer. Texts. Got to get their mobiles, got to get their mobile numbers. All right. Next one, 4 out of 5 customers wouldn't use their same agent again, but they would if they kept in touch. The rule 1 equals 150, right? Robert Dunbar wrote the rule of 150. Basically, one person knows another 150 people. If you add value, if you maintain communication, you stay in touch, you stay top of mind, they will insist you to one of those 150. I'm not bothering people. I'm staying top of mind and adding value so that when and if the time comes, the average Canadian moves 7-8 times, or 7-8 every 7-8 years, right? Maybe 9 years. So it's not about the existing client. It's about the other 150 people that they cross paths with that I want them to say, call Carrie, call Adam, call Jody. I want them to insist me. I want them to be advocates on my behalf in that. That's why you have to maintain that communication. And again, the maximum amount of communication a month before you bother somebody, 13 times. 13 times. I'm asking you to do it 2-3 times, not 13. All right, guys, that sets the background for the statistics. So the process itself, what are the benefits to the process of building the system? 22% return on investment. Nothing higher, nothing better. The rule of Dunbar, 1 equals 150. One person equals 150. Write this number down, guys. If you want to make $100,000, you need 100 fans. So one fan equals $1,000 of annual GCI. One fan equals 1,000 annual GCI. If you want to make 200,000, you need 200 fans. If you want to make 300,000, you need 300 fans. Does that make sense? Pretty simple rule. One is, on average, one fan equals 1,000 GCI a year. Remember, 5 times more getting them than keeping them. We're in the relationships business. That's what we do. Okay. And at the end of the day, we're banking on the universal law of reciprocity. The universal law of reciprocity. We're giving with no expectation of return, but the law says that if we give, we stay top of mind, we add value, then we get the give to get. Incredibly powerful laws, incredibly powerful principles. The rule of 1 equals 150. One fan equals 1,000 GCI, 22% return on investment. Do I have your attention? The numbers don't lie. The math doesn't lie. We're back to math again, guys. All about the math. The stats don't lie. The importance of being able to add value, maintain contact in that, and being top of mind. Incredibly, incredibly, incredibly important to be able to structure it and build it. All right. So Kevin Costner's movie, Field of Dreams. Anybody seen it? Field of Dreams? I know I'm an old geezer now. I'm in my 50s. So it's like, what's the Field of Dreams? Is that like Avatar or what? Anyway, so Costner's movie was built on it, where he built a baseball diamond. He was told to build this baseball diamond, and the Sox would come out of the cornfields and come play ball in his ballpark and that. And he kept saying that if you build it, they will come. So I'm telling you that if you build this system, if you build this process, if you do that, not the White Sox won't come out of your cornfields, but at the end of the day, the referrals, the 1 equals 150, the stuff, you'll start to see the fruits of your labor. You just need to be write this down. Faithful with the little to be given much. The little touches, the little things, the little value adds, the little things in that. You need to be faithful with the little to be given much. Okay? So take the time to build this. Take the time to build this. The assembly time. You need to get first and last names. You need to get mailing addresses. Anybody know why mailing addresses are so popular now? Forbes magazine, marketing, huge magazine, saying that personally addressed mail is the single most powerful form of marketing now. Personally addressed mail, not unaddressed mail. Personally addressed mail, the #1 most powerful tool for marketing on the planet. Got to get their personal mailing addresses, guys. Their email, I just said to you, 22% response rate. I'm better off texting them. So I got to get their mobile numbers because I want the 98%, not the 22%. Their date of births, I want to honor them on their special day. I want to know what their date of births are. You all have FinTrack. You all have IDs. You have all their birth dates and that. Even Facebook helps you out, or other sources of social media. There's no reason why you can't acknowledge them on their special day. And last one is get their house anniversary dates. So veterans in the room, honor them on their annual day of their anniversary house purchase. Go back and honor them on their day of their anniversary house purchase, right? Car industry did this fantastic day and time again, right? I used to own a Honda Odyssey van here when I first started in that. It was because it's a chick magnet. And so the Honda Odyssey van I had in that, and Honda sent me an anniversary, happy anniversary. Your van's now 10 years old. Oh, I know it's 10 years old. I know. Right. So they always reminded you of when you own your vehicle and that. How many people still have their car dealers still sending them those anniversary cards? Right. It still happens. It still works. They do it because it works, because they're hoping that you get the card and then you tell your friend to go buy the car from the guy that you just got your anniversary card from. That's why they're doing it. They're not trying to bug people. They're just saying top of mind and adding value and treating them on their special day. So get their names, get their addresses, because Forbes magazine's telling you that personally addressed mail, we don't get it anymore. We don't receive it anymore. We get too much email. We get too many texts, too many, all this other distractions, but we don't get personally addressed mail. Get their mailing addresses and mail them stuff, please. Email is great. Mobiles, texting 98%, data bursts, honor them on their special day and honor them on their annual anniversary dates of their homes. Okay. You got to collect all that data. So first things first, I'm going to send Chad this as well, and this is going to get emailed to you guys. This is 150 questions of memory jogging people that you can add to your database. So we're going to start the assembly process with using this 150 list. Write this down. Process number 1, you go through the 150 list. Okay. There's going to be an email and a PDF sent to you this week. And you're going to go through each of these questions, and each of these questions are going to be like, you know, who cuts your hair? Who's your dry cleaner? Who works on your car? Who pumps your gas? Where do you get your coffee? You're going to start using this as your database builder. Tool number 1 is the list of the 150, okay? The business builder 150. You're going to use this list. You're going to start with this list first, okay? Before you do this, write this down. I want you to put your master list in Excel. I want you to put your master list in Excel. Can anybody on the call tell me why you need to put your master list in Excel?
Edit it, right?
Correct. Well, no, somebody said the changing. So every CRM in real estate does not merge with another CRM. Of course it doesn't. They want to hold you to the CRM. So if you don't like your CRM, you can't leave them because you didn't enter it into Excel. Every single CRM system merges to Excel. Every single one of them. You convert it to a CSV file, it merges into every CRM. So you can change your CRM, because agents change their CRM like they change their underwear. Hopefully it's often. Okay. So you guys are going to change it, but you cannot do that if you do not build your master list in Excel. Tip number 2, besides building in Excel, use more columns in Excel, because the merging of the database into the CRM system is based on how good you spread out the columns in Excel. So their first name is in a column, their last name's in a column, their street numbers in a column, their street names in a column, their postal codes in a column in Excel. So spread them out into more columns. I know it looks weird when you have all these columns in Excel, but the better you spread out your columns in Excel, the more accurate the transition and the conversion is to putting it into your contact management system. It's seamless if it's split up into more columns in Excel. Okay, so build your master lister in Excel and make it as many columns as possible so that the data is accurate and it merges seamlessly, okay? And start with this 150 questionnaire on your database and start putting those people into your system first. Like I said, it's an elephant. We eat this one bite at a time. Source and tool number 1, 150 list. Source and tool number 2, all your mobile contacts, okay? So you go in this and you can just YouTube or Google how to get your contacts out of your phone into Excel. There's an actual video on YouTube or a Google description on how you can download your contacts off yours and put it into Excel off of your phone. Okay, get it into there and physically get it onto your computer. So take all those contacts off your mobile device and all those contacts on your 150 and start with that as source number 1 and source number 2. Source number 3, all your email accounts. How many people are like me? You've got Gmail, Hotmail, right? You've got multiple accounts. So you go into those separate email accounts and you look at all the names, all the sents, all the deletions, all the contacts and start looking and going, oh, that person should be in there. Oh, that person should be in there. Oh, that person for sure in there. Okay. Now write this down. The only people that go into your database are the ones that are not, that are holiday card tested, So they know you, they like you, and it wouldn't be weird and funky to send them a holiday card. That's how you put them into the database. Because if you can't send them a holiday card and it's going to be weird and funky, then you got to call them and ask them. Okay? So the ones that you go in there without permission are the ones that wouldn't be weird, that know you, like you, trust you, and would not be weird to send them a holiday card. Okay? So source number 1, the 150. Source number 2, your mobile. Source number 3, your email contacts. Put it in Excel break down the columns, and only put the people in that know you, like you, and trust you, and wouldn't be awkward or weird to get a holiday card from you. Next one, all your past clients. Yes, all the veterans in the room, get your past clients in there. It's crazy how many people don't update their files and go through their files and that. Chad will probably kill me, or their conveyance department will call me, kill me in that, but you could ask that department for the list of all your past listings and all your past sales and see if they can get that data from their software that they use in the brokerage there. Sorry, Chad, your ladies will probably kill me for that tip. All right, past client files. Last but not least, guys, your social media accounts. You're going through there and you're looking. Who knows you, who trusts you, who likes you, and who would be worthwhile putting in there. Again, it doesn't matter where they're from. You never know where somebody knows somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody that's coming to Red Deer or is moving from Red Deer. The world is a very, very, very small place. Don't overthink this. Don't over exhaust it in that. Don't be analyzed by paralysis by analysis and that. Build it, put it together, assemble it, right? And take the time to invest the time in it. So build it in Excel, and I'll give you a couple of good CRMs. Obviously, the Sphere for Royal LePage's Sphere. KV Core, guys, the system that you're using that's white labeled for Royal LePage Canada is one of the top North American CRM systems, the one we have with Sphere. So it's like a giant onion. There's lots of layers to it, and it's lots to learn in that, but it's an incredibly powerful CRM system. For those of you that like to do business by pop-buys and referrals and things like that, the Referral Maker with Buffini, great CRM system, Buffini CRM Referral Maker. The one that Morris Marketing, hey, if there's any rookies in the room, anybody that's worked for less than 1 year, you can get a hold of Morris Marketing in Toronto, Morris Marketing in Toronto, and you can get their CRM. It's called IX Act, a great CRM system. If you're brand new, you can get that CRM system for free for your first year. And the rookie accounts, you can get it. And then everybody else in the room, you can get their mailing and their CRM system and everything else. And I think it's $34.99 a month, $34.99 a month. Okay. Contactually is another good one. Wise Agents, another good one. Realty Juggler's good. Top Producer. At the end of the day, guys, I'll share a little story. My number one guy in my office, his name's Mark. He still door knocks. He's a door knocking machine. And you mock that and you think it's crazy. He's a door knocker. 197 ends a year he does in Kelowna. 197 ends. You know what his CRM system is? I don't even think you can buy them. I think he has to order them on Amazon. They're 5x7 recipe cards. I am not kidding you. He has 5,000 recipe cards in boxes in the back of his Bronco. Every door he knocks on, he writes a little note, little date of the conversation to remind him. Then he comes back to Mr. and Mrs. Babushka's house 6 months later. He looks at his card and writes down the note. Daughter got married. Knocks on the door. Hi, Mr. and Mrs. Babushka. How are you? Oh, my goodness, Mark, how are you today? That's so good to see you. Right? And he'll be like, how was your daughter's wedding? Oh, my goodness, Marky. How did you remember that was my daughter's wedding? And he takes his glasses. He's like, well, that's just my job to remember those important things, Mr. and Mrs. Babushki. Oh, that's why we love you so much, Mark. That's why you sell 197 houses every year. You're so good and so kind, and come to my house and remember my daughter's wedding. Right? Everything. Guys, the CRM system that works is the one that you'll use. If it's recipe cards, use bloody recipe cards. God bless Mike Wilmot. He passed away a couple years ago. Guy was a machine. I called him Killer. He was a machine in my office. His was one of those coil duotang things that you bought for your kids in the 70s. That was a CRM system. He crushed it using a duotang. Mark crushes it using recipe cards. Right? Like, you don't need the technology. My point is the CRM system is the one that you use, the one that it will work, the one that you'll maintain contact and communication and add value. That's the best CRM system for yourself. Don't spend 6 months researching CRM systems and then let the whole bloody market go by, and then the fall kicks in and it slows down and you still haven't picked this stupid CRM system. Don't do that. Don't overthink it. Don't overanalyze it. Okay, guys? Google Docs will work, for crying out loud. Outlook will work, for crying out loud. It doesn't matter. Just get it in there and get them where you can and get the information, put it into there, okay? Right, did I get my point across? So there's your sources. The 150, your mobile, your emails, your past client files, your social media accounts. Holiday card, test them. Don't put them in. Call them and ask them before you do that. Okay, so we've taken the time to assemble it. We've got it all together. Now that I've built all this animal and built this beast, Wade, now what do? Now we're going to add value. Now we're going to be top of mind. Now we're going to use the universal laws of reciprocity. Now we're going to touch them. We're going to nurture them. We're going to deepen our relationship. And we're going to do it 2-3 times a month. All right. So here's touch number 1. So why do I create this system? Think about this. Has anybody flown in first class? Anybody in one of those fancy like Emirates Airlines or first class or in those pods? So I'm Ukrainian, so I'm pretty damn cheap. So I took my family to Europe, and my kids walked past the pods and like, Dad, now we're talking. And I'm like, keep on walking, just keep going. This isn't where the Webb clan's flying for Europe and that. But everybody knows that there's a difference between the pods and first class and coach. So my point of this analogy is do you treat your clients like they're in coach? Like the 2 seats by the bathroom back of the thing, the door opens up and back and a quaff of air comes out and just about die. And then you chuck them a pack of peanuts and you charge them $90 for their bag and they give them shitty seats and that, right? Are you treating them like that? Like it's like flying with WestJet and Air Canada. We're not happy unless you're unhappy, right? So at the end of the day, there's a difference between treating your clients like they're in first class or you're treating them in coach. Right. And that's what those books that I suggested, guys, is talking about how you treat people and how you put them in first class and treat them like they're in a pod and not treating them like they're in the cheap seats and charging them and chucking peanuts at them and everything else that we experience when we're flying with most of the airlines. Right. So treat your clients like they're first class passengers in your own airline and deliver that unexpected experience and watch the referrals and watch the business come. It's a universal principle. It cannot be denied. It works and it works well. Okay. So we're all going to contribute to flying first class and treating our clients like they're first class in a pod and not like they're sitting in coach the back seats by the washroom. Deal? Deal. All right. So touch number 1. Yes, the 80s called and they want their marketing strategy back, Wade. So newsletters, guys. So a newsletter is, and so I'll give you a couple ideas how you can put a newsletter on steroids. So I had a coupon, a voucher with a local business in my newsletter that I offered to my clients. I had like trivia stuff. I had referral contests in there. I had like personal information stuff. I made my newsletter valuable each month. So I went around to 12 different businesses around my office, and each month there was a business with a voucher in there. So one of the guys at the Thai restaurant here, Joe, little Tibetan monk guy that owns the Thai restaurant Montong, I would put his coupon in my newsletter. And it was so funny. All these businesses, I'd put these coupons in my newsletter and they would be like, well, how much? And I'm like, well, nothing. Right? It's on me. Just thank you for providing and adding value to my newsletter. Right? So every month I had a voucher. Every month I had something interesting, something of value in that. And I made the newsletter interesting. Now, guys, there's 2 ways you can deliver this newsletter, and you should deliver them both ways, electronically and physically. Why? Because Forbes magazine and everybody's talking about the personally addressed mail is more powerful than email. We're getting too many emails, guys. Okay? So for those of you that are like me, Ukrainian and lazy and don't want to do it, there are companies that will do your newsletters for you. You just give them the names and addresses and they'll do it for you for $1 and change each. Okay. So number 1 company, Morris Marketing. Ontario company, Morris Marketing. Another one out of Edmonton called DMS, Direct Marketing Services, DMS. And then another one called KITS, Keep in Touch Systems, KITS. All of them have a system with a CRM. All of them do your mailers. All of them do your hard copy and your digital copy of newsletters, and the content's different. So they physically mail them on the 15th and they digitally email them on the 1st. And both newsletters, digitally and physically, are different content. Okay. So I'm gonna ask you to do this. I would recommend minimum quarterly physically newsletter mailed. Quarterly minimum. Ideally, monthly or bi-monthly, physically. Okay? And yes, the 80s called and they want their band back together and that, but at the end of the day, this still works. You should add in testimonials. You should add in a listing or a sale. You should add in statistics. You should add in a voucher. You should add in, you know, what's going on and what's trending, tips and nuggets and things like that. Make your newsletter interesting and a value in that. And that's what these companies do for you. And if you want, you could even go to a VA company or an outsourced company on Fiverr, Fiverr, Fiverr.com, and get somebody to design something for you as well. Okay. So that's touch number one, database newsletters. Number two, how many of you do annual or biannual unsolicited CMAs? Everybody sending CMAs every 6 months to their past clients? Just the comps? Number one listing lead generator, guys. Number one listing lead generator for all my coaching clients. Unsolicited CMAs. Just send them a cover letter and the comps, and then call them 5 days later. Cover letter, the comps, call them 5 days later, and write this down. Do not tell them what you think it's worth. Do not tell them what you think it's worth. I repeat, do not tell them what you think it's worth. Because then when you call, hey, did you get the information? Yeah, we did. Do you have any questions? No, we're good in that. Hey, do you have any other properties that I could evaluate for you? Do you have any other friends that I could do this for? Well, I noticed one thing, Wade, that you didn't know. You didn't let us know what you thought it was worth. For insurance purposes and legal purposes, I'm obligated to physically view every property before I give a number. When would be a good time for me to come and take a look at that property and I'll give you your number? No questions, no problem whatsoever. Appointment converted. Boom. So I have one of my chairman club's teams in my office. They send them in January and they send them in September. Guess what the biggest response is for unsolicited CMA packages and listings? Last September, 20 listings in September they got. It's not the January one. It was the fall one. Biggest response, unsolicited. So I'll send a copy of a cover letter. And the cover letter basically says as a value add, here's something that we do on an annual basis, and that you can use this to make sure that your house insurance is high enough, that you might want to look at a refinancing opportunity or an equity takeout, or you might want to look at investment property or recreational property. I don't even tell them that I think about that they're thinking of selling. I just want to send them this information as a value add, and that's what my cover letter explains to them, and send them just the comps with the cover letter and then call them 5 days later. Some of my coaching clients do video CMAs. Some of my clients do digital CMA packages. Some of them send physical ones. I personally think the first one is the physical one because it looks like you took the time and the energy and effort to send the physical package to them. And then the money is in the follow-up call. Write this down. The money is in the follow-up call, not the package. It's in the follow-up call. You don't make the follow-up call, you don't get the secret sauce. You got to make the follow-up call. It's not the initial package, okay? Next item, anniversaries and birthdays. Anniversaries and birthdays. You can all subscribe to companies like sendoutcards.com. Sendoutcards.com will scan your handwriting, print in your handwriting a birthday card or a house anniversary card, and mail them to your client for just over $1. And it automatically will do it for you in that. So there's lots of companies that do this for you. One of the recommendations is sendoutcards.com. There's many companies like it. And if you want it, you can even add, and I can attest to this, the $5 for the brownies, the chocolate brownies you can send with the cards. Absolutely delicious. Absolutely delicious. Trust me, I've eaten a few. All right. So sendoutcards.com or Google any company that's similar to it. They will do your house anniversary cards. They will do it. Well, wait, it's so impersonal. You're having a company send it. Yeah. Well, at least it's getting done, and it's getting done consistently in that. So you calendar it, you get the company doing all that. When, like, you have to understand when you're doing big volume and doing that, your time is of the essence. You know, you talk about how valuable is it to have Morris or Kits just do all your newsletters for you electronically and physically. What's your time worth? What's it worth to you to have a company do your handwritten notes and do your birthday cards and do your house anniversary cards and things like that? You got to measure your time and your return on your time and the value of your time. It's incredibly important. Did I start off with my kids, slave labor, them doing it first of all when I started this business? Heck yeah, I did that. Right? My kids have still got paper cuts and tongue bleeding from all of the envelopes and all the stuff that I made them stick and stuff for me in all those years. They're scarred for life. But there's comes a point in a time in your career where you get Morris or you get Kits or you get Sendo Card, you get these companies to do this, and it gets done, and it gets done for you. And it's making you top of mind and adding value and generating more business while you're busy being busy sipping a pina colada in Mexico, or you're making business and that and being top of mind and relevant while you're getting busy in that. The reason why agents' businesses have peaks and valleys because you can. I'm the president of the Control Freak Club. Trust me, right? But you're so busy taking care of business that you don't have time to do this stuff. So you have to leverage, outsource, delegate, instigate, put it in, implement, execute, and automate, systemize that. That's the secret. Write this down. The secret to the system is build it and then leverage. Build it and then leverage it. Someone else or something else is doing it for me. It's making it rain. It's making me add value. It's making me top of mind. And that so I can be busy doing myself and my life and busy doing people and not doing all this admin stuff. But there'll be people that'll ignore it and they'll get your kids and start off and doing that. That's fine. But I recommend that the faster you can get to having someone else and something else do it for you, that's the secret. Secret weapon is leverage and strategic leverage. Next one, putting together, does anybody have a service directory book? Service directory book. So businesses and services and business owners. Think about this, guys. All realtors have relationships with P2P, person to person. Very few realtors have business owners, service providers, trades, and this, that. So I had a booklet and a page on my website and an app. I repeat, I had an app, a page on my website, and a physical booklet that I sent every year of painters, electricians, contractors, handyman, mechanics, you name it that. And those people were on my website, on my app, and on my book, and in my book. And those people sent me more business because I was introducing it to my clients and bringing them business. So they felt that they needed to send me more business. And think about the strategic value of B2B and being able to have that service directory. So the chat's going to send you a copy of a simple coaching client service directory booklet. Guys, I just sold some small ad space in my booklet, just enough business card ads to cover the cost of printing a couple hundred of these booklets and sending them out every January. So every January, my New Year's gift was a service directory book that I physically mailed my clients, a couple hundred of them. And then I had a couple hundred extra printed for open houses and different shifts and relocation packages and that. And my most visited page on my website was this page of all the services and trades of businesses page. It was visited more because people, that's why TripAdvisor and Yelp and all these things are so popular. People are looking for third-party reliable sources and that for finding trades and services and businesses and things like that. So think about the opportunity in B2B. It doesn't always have to be P2P. Next one, pop-by gifts. So my three favorite pop-bys are coming up right now. Pop-by gift number one, I mailed every one of my clients this week scratch and win tickets for St. Patty's Day, and sent them a little card that said, clients like you are like a four-leaf clover, hard to find and lucky to have. And sent them a scratch and win ticket this week, mailed it to them, and dropped them off to them. And everybody got a scratch and win ticket for $1. And I just said to them, let me know if you win the big one. One of the best responses I can ever get is sending out scratch and win tickets for St. Patty's Day. Pop-by item number two, next month, April. You can buy at on a website for 99 cents each. They're packages of spring flower seeds called forget-me-nots. They're actually spring flower seeds called forget-me-nots, and you can buy them on online for 99 cents a pack. And you can buy them. I'm just trying to find if I can find the seeds here on the website here. And so you can buy forget-me-not seeds for 99 cents and send them out in packages here. Theseedcompany.ca. Theseedcompany.ca. They're called forget-me-nots. And so I'll send them a package of the forget-me-not seeds and get them from theseedcompany.ca. And I send them a little card saying, thanks for always supporting my business and helping my business grow. The seeds, great response. The lottery tickets, great response. Another two favorites of mine is summertime, doing the ketchup, relish, and mustard packs. So you can do the ketchup, mustard, and relish packs. So there's a copy of like the seeds and the ketchup, mustard, and relish packs. There's a thanks for helping my business grow with a little garden trowel. So you can do this. And then on the ketchup, mustard, and relish packs, it says, just wanted to catch up, let you know that I relish your real estate referrals and not all agents cut the mustard. And yes, the more cheesier, the better the gift, the better the top of mind, the better the response. Okay. And last but not least, this is one here for pies. So every Thanksgiving, guys, My clients can RSVP and come by the office on Thursday and Friday before Thanksgiving weekend. And I go to Costco and I grab a pumpkin or an apple crumble, and pie's on me every Thanksgiving. So some of my coaching clients will have 60, 70, 80 clients come by the office and pick up an ordered pumpkin or apple crumble pie from Costco and pick it up, and pumpkins on there. And it's something to do with you cut above the rest and a slice above the, it's a play on words in that you send with the card in that, and they have to RSVP to come pick up their pumpkin or their apple pies. So those are my 4 favorite pop-by gifts, and that I send clients in that. There's a copy of a simple business directory booklet there, just a simple booklet that I get printed at a local printer here. And then again, I sell a business card ad for like $20 just to cover the cost of all my printing of my directory books and that. And then I do these pop-bys and these pop-by gifts and that. And again, I'll send you all the information in that with the slides and the tags and everything else in that. You just got to get them sent out. So scratch and win tickets for this month. Forget-me-not seeds for April, ketchup mustard relish packs for June, July, and then the pies for October for Thanksgiving weekend. Works fantastic. Responses are always great. Next one, you can send an email of a simple email, market trends, what's trending. If you look at my Facebook page, I always put what the market snapshot is, how many listings, how many sales, what's the highest sale price, what's the lowest sale price. If you look on our Royal LePage Kelowna or look on my Wade Webb Facebook site, I always post the trends and what's trending and what's happening weekly on the real estate market, and just sending it by email or posting it on social media. Simple way of being top of mind and adding value. Client appreciation events. So every year our brokerage does a movie event. We have about 800 people that come to 2 movie theaters every fall. I used to do a client appreciation event, a barbecue event. You can do an old-fashioned picnic. You can do like anything, ball game, hockey game, anything like that, doing a client event. One of my coaching clients, she does a bowling party. It's hugely attended, the laser bowling party and that. So doing a client event is incredible because those people see how many families and how many other people that you help, and they're amazed at how many people and how many clients come to the party. But what's incredible is how many people have met and become friends at my client appreciation events. They've actually met. And in the book, The Go-Giver, it talks about being Pinder, the person that is the connector of people. Like I'm really good and well known for being a Pinder. So you need to talk to this person or the go-to person for connecting people in that. So these events are really good connectors for people. Attending these social events and going to your client appreciation events, highly, highly recommend one a year. Highly recommend one a year. All right, guys, this device makes incoming, outgoing calls. I know you find that incredibly surprising. Makes outgoing calls and incoming calls. So pick up your phone and call your people. Minimum once a year, ideally twice a year, making a call. But also call and text, because you got a 32% chance of them answering the phone. You got a 98% chance of them texting you back. Right? So texting and calls and that, incredibly important, incredible database. And all you got to do is, hey, just checking in and seeing how you're doing and checking in and how you're making out. Okay? Just checking in and seeing how you're doing. Social media, you can do social media accounts and contacts, guys. Social media, I think, is just one of those vehicles for communication. I think the 3 most important things social media-wise is messaging somebody, sharing their content, and commenting. Carnegie says that people don't care what I know until they know that I care. The only way I can show people I care about them on social media is sharing what they shared, messaging them and checking in on them, seeing how they're doing, and also basically commenting on what they're posting in that. That's how I show people that they care and that I care. All right? Last one is just a 1 day, 1 week, 1 month follow-up. So calling after 1 day of completion, they expect you to do that. Calling 1 week after, possibly expecting you. Calling 1 month after, that's where you deliver the unexpected. So 1 day, 1 week, 1 month after the completion. And then 1 month is when something usually goes wrong with the house and that. That's when I can earn my advocacy. Garage door opener, just send somebody over to fix it for him. Oh my gosh, over the top, Wade. Thanks so much. Right? So I'm looking for that moment. Usually that moment allows me to happen 1 month after completion, or I can send a handyman to pick up all their boxes or their junk removal or anything like that. Anything I can do to surprise them. But 1 day, 1 week, 1 month after completion, a simple, incredibly powerful value add, top of mind. All right. So guys, your homework assignment is to start building your database or revamping and purging and manipulating your database. And what I want you to do is to pick up and start putting together your 2 or 3 touches a month and calendaring it. I need you to do the next. I'll send you a little sheet on it. Actually, in your business plan book, I'll send the sheet again, the copy. In your business plan book that I gave you 2 weeks ago, there's a sheet on building your marketing plan and your touches. I want you to build a calendar for your 2 or 3 touches that you're going to do, or your 13 that you're going to do for April, May, and June. April, May, and June. Okay. And build the calendar and build the touches and what you're going to do and have it laid out and have it scheduled and have it laid out what you're going to do. Okay. And then you want to build those touches and build those systems and build it up and put it together. All right. So action steps for week number 2. Number 1, finish your homework for week 1. If you haven't finished your homework for week 1, send it to me, email it to me. Okay. Week 1, finish up your homework. Now start the assembly process, get those names, get those addresses, get those mobile devices, get those emails. It's going to take you time. It's going to take you effort. Okay. You're going to maybe need to make some calls to people. Hey, if I could be of service, this is what I want to do in that. Small talk first, and then ask them. I'm building a client appreciation program, a client appreciation program. I'm not going to spam you. I'm not going to stalk you. I'm not going to bother you. I'm building a client appreciation program. I'm wanting to take my service and my relationships to a better level and a higher level. And I'm wondering if I could collect this information so I could honor you on your special day. So I could do this for you. So I could do this there. I want to be your trusted advisor and somebody who is top of mind and adds value in any way, shape, or form. Build your database in Excel. Use the 150, use your mobile, use your social contacts, use your emails and that, use your past client files. Build it and put it into Excel, right? Once you finish your Excel, then convert it and put it over into your CRM system. Then build your calendar of your touches, okay? And start implementing and executing your touches. For those of you that are super keeners and want to send out some scratch and win tickets and send some scratch and win tickets, Chad, I'll send you the tag about the lucky to have and hard to find 4-leaf clover. I'll send you some tags that they can just staple their scratch and win tickets to those and send them to their clients this week. I'll get that into Chad's hands this afternoon. And then at the end of the day, guys, get a listing, finish up your action 1 steps, and watch the business and watch the referrals and watch things exponentially grow. Guys, like there's people and veterans that like they're in the 20 to 70%, 80% referral business from building this system and building this process. It's incredibly important and valuable if you do it right and you do it effectively and you do it. And again, you're not bugging people, you're adding value and you're staying top of mind. You want to add value and stay at top of mind. And I'm focusing on the one person advocating to the other 150 people that they know. You need to make 100 grand. You need 100 people on that list that said that you're my guy or you're my gal. Okay. If you need to make 200, you need 200 people. Made 300,000, you need 300 people. Right? Any questions, any comments, any concerns, anything I need to respond to or anything I need to describe or explain in more detail? Everybody's good?
Wait, can I ask you one thing? It's Carrie.
Yeah.
Was it you that did we talk about the windshield washer fluid and a tag for that?
I did. Yeah. You want me to send that?
Yeah, because windshield washer fluid at Walmart is $2.50 right now.
Deal.
So I wanted to do that. We said April. March.
Yeah. Deal. I'll send the tag for the seeds. I'll send the tag for the lottery tickets, and I'll send the windshield wiper fluid one too.
Yeah, that'd be great. Thank you.
Awesome. No problem. Anybody else? Yeah, good to see you too. Okay, guys, that's it for this week, guys. Thanks, everybody. And we'll see you guys same time, same place. Now, send me an update before next Monday session on your database, guys, and your database touches and that. That'll be your homework. And those of you that haven't quite got your homework to me for week 1, please email me again. It's wadewebb@royallepage.ca, wadewebb@royallepage.ca. All right, guys, happy hunting, happy selling, happy adding value and being top of mind. You guys have a great week. Take care.